On everyone, the Lakers are having themselves quite the free agency, and it has just been beautiful to watch. Rob Pelinka deserves all of his flowers. He is absolutely cooking and just putting on an absolute show for just getting quality pieces, just getting real upside type players, basketball players that will play both sides of the ball, guys that can really just make an impact on this Lakers roster, and he's doing it without overspending. We have seen so many guys just get crazy deals this offseason that have just been clearly overpaid. And the Lakers have really found quality rotation guys for market value, if not undervalue. Right? Like Taurean Prince, $4.5 million, that was undervalue. I'm not saying he's like a $20 million a year guy or anything like that, but he easily, the going rate, he's probably a $15 million a year guy, but realistically, he's probably in that like 8 to 10 million range, somewhere in that ballpark. But regardless, the Lakers did a fantastic job. Rob Pelinka absolutely cooked, and we kept the core guys. That's what Rob Pelinka continuously talked about. Hey, we want to keep the core pieces intact. Want to keep Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell. These are the key guys that are very important, that had the big impacts with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Lakers did just that. And it's going to be great. And I am excited for this upcoming season. And I'm sure many people are as well, to just see what can this team do upgraded. Because this team is deeper. This team is more talented than last year's team. And what can they do with the full offseason, a full training camp, full preseason, full regular season, and then make that push for the playoffs. Now, the Lakers, for the most part, are done with the offseason and have the core roster intact. They still have 2 vet minimum spots, if I'm not mistaken, right now, which I would imagine they're going to leave one open, and then they hopefully will sign another big. I'd like a more sizable veteran big. The Lakers did bring in Jackson Hayes, which I think is an absolute slam dunk, especially for a vet minimum. Kid's 23 years old. He has a world of potential. And the Lakers were also able to keep future flexibility, which is nice. A lot of these guys are on favorable deals, but the ones that the Lakers want long-term, they were able to sign long-term, and then the other ones are like player options or team options, things like that. So Lakers, again, have some nice flexibility going forward, so they're not like locked in if this team doesn't work. The Lakers can make the adjustments, and then if it does work, then you just bring everybody back, right? And figure it out from there. But I really like what the Lakers have done, and when you look at the breakdown of this roster, I mean, this team is ridiculously deep. So many teams we are seeing just go really front load heavy. Not the Lakers. The Lakers said, we're gonna be balanced. We're gonna have a nice balanced attack. We're gonna be deep, if not the deepest team in the league. Seriously, front to back, this might be the deepest team in the league. In my opinion, I think it is. Right? You got a lot of teams that, don't get me wrong, are like 6, 7 players deep. The Lakers are literally like 11 or 12 guys deep. So this is the core roster. At the center position so far, you got Anthony Davis and Jackson Hayes. Power forward, you got Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura, also LeBron James, can be interchangeable. Same thing with Cam Reddish, even Taurean Prince. The forward spots are basically all interchangeable. They could all play the 3, and they could all play the 4, which is what you want. You want that switchability, you want that versatility. Even Anthony Davis could play the 4 at times. Like, you could go Jackson Hayes and Anthony Davis in some sets, which I would like to see maybe play out from time to time. My guess is Anthony Davis starts at the center position just to kind of find minutes, because that's going to be a problem, is finding minutes for everybody. Darvin Ham's really going to have to balance out this roster. But I think it'll be okay, because at least me personally, if it's me, I'm playing Anthony Davis and LeBron James like 25 to 30 minutes a game, and I'm riding my young guys, right? Like, if it was me, Anthony Davis gets, his 25, 30 minutes, and then Jackson Hayes is playing he's playing 30-plus minutes a game. Same thing with LeBron James. LeBron James playing 25, 30 minutes a game, and then Rui and Cam and everybody are playing 30 plus minutes to basically allow LeBron James to just kind of rest. Because again, it's a long season, 82 games. You want to keep Anthony Davis and LeBron James as healthy as possible. Ride this depth. Utilize this depth. Nobody on this roster should be playing more than 30 minutes a game. Nobody, right? I mean, if it's a tight game and, you know, Austin Reeves is at like 28 minutes and there's 5 minutes left, you know, you're not going to say, okay, well, you know, I don't want to play anybody 30 minutes. Like, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is there's no reason that on a regular basis, Anthony Davis should be playing 35 to 40 minutes, or LeBron James should be playing 35 to 40 minutes, right? Nobody should have to do that. It should be a nice, well-balanced attack where everybody's contributing and we're just going as deep as possible. But the guard position, same thing. You got a lot of versatility when it comes to the guard position. Austin Reeves and Max Christie are interchangeable. You could, especially with guys like LeBron on the court, you could run a unit of like LeBron at the 4, Davis, or you could go even LeBron at the 3 and go Davis and Hayes and have Christie and Reeves run at times, right? And have either one of them at the point. But all of our forwards are interchangeable and switchable, which is massive. And then all of our guards are interchangeable and switchable, right? You could go D'Lo and Christie. You could go D'Lo and Reeves. You could go D'Lo and Vincent. You could go Vincent and Christie. You could go Vincent and Reeves, right? Like, that is very important going forward. And you're not too top-heavy one way or another. I think that this is a very well balanced. I mean, even Taurean Prince at 6'7" could play shooting guard if you needed him to, right? Like, that has a lot of value. You have flexibility to go small, right? If you want to go small ball, you have several forwards that are capable of that. I mean, we've seen LeBron play center at times in small ball lineups. Rui Hachimura was really good at the center position in small ball lineups. And even Cam Reddish, who's 6'8" with like a 7', 7'1" wingspan, you could have play the center spot if you need to, right? Again, it's just you have so many different ways to beat teams. The only sort of thing that, there's two things that I really would like to see the Lakers get, and they have 2 roster spots. One of them is easier said than done, but I'd really like them to go get another center, even if you're bringing in like a DeMarcus Cousins or something like that, just to kind of fill it out. I would just like a veteran center, a guy, because Jackson Hayes is a bit of a project, which is fine. Nothing wrong with having a project center and one that's as talented and has as much upside as Hayes, but I'd really like to go get that guy that's been there, done that, has the experience, is able to match up with the Jokiches of the world. I'd like to do that. The other thing the Lakers really need is they need just like a bucket getter, right? A guy that can shoot off the dribble, down the stretch, stuff like that. Like D'Lo and Reeves can do that at times, but they're not as natural. Like, we need like a natural, just like score. Like, think of like a Malik Monk, right? He's not like some crazy star or anything, but he just go get buckets, right? That dude, he can close games down the like, or a Terry Rozier or something like that, right? Like, my concern is just, which the Lakers, that's why the Lakers lost to the Nuggets, is they failed to close down stretches, because your only real like closer is LeBron James, but he's closing at the basket rather than on the floor, right? So that's just kind of something that I'd also like to have. But I mean, look, this roster is deep, and that's not even counting the young bucks. That's not counting the Maxwell Lewis that we got and Jalen Hood-Schifino, right? That's not counting, Colin Castleton and the other young guys, right? Like, the Lakers had themselves an incredible draft, and they had themselves an incredible offseason. So many people talk about the Lakers organization and like, oh, like this, I miss the old era. This like, for real, as far as like front to back goes, we might have like one of the best front offices, front to back development departments, everything that we might have ever had. I mean, think of just like the development and draft department. I mean, they are absolute A1. They are the best in the league, if not one of the best in the league. And you couldn't say that for many previous years, right? Like, very few diamonds in the roughs were the Lakers finding before this recent regime, right? And then Rob Pelinka, as the GM, dude, this guy continues to cook and finds great ways and great deals. Like, we're so quick to criticize the front office that I think we need to take time to praise them when they're doing well, right? Like, when they traded for Russell Westbrook, like, we all just torched them, right? And it was a risk that just didn't play out, right? Sometimes you got to swing for the fences, right? Well, the Lakers made the correction. They went to the Western Conference Finals, and now they upgraded, and they're even better than they were last year, which is good because other teams got better than they were last year. So Lakers needed to do this. But seriously, Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, Jesse Buss, all of our development guys, Phil Handy, he deserves some love. I mean, that dude is in heaven right now. As a development coach, you don't think that guy is like, oh man, you don't think he's licking at his chops right now? He's like, man, I got Jackson Hayes. I can still get to work with Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt. I got all these young guys, all these young bucks. Like, it's really nice. It really is. It's nice to see the Lakers find this success with just drafting and development and getting quality guys at reasonable prices. Lakers aren't overpaying. They are constantly maintaining flexibility, which is good, which is important, right? If any of these guys don't work or if something major ends up becoming available at the trade deadline, you have tradable contracts. Like even D'Lo, if you had to, you have him at $18.5 million on a player option for next year, which he's probably not going to exercise because he's going to want more money. And even if he does, then you got him for good value, right? So like he has tradability. Taurean Prince, right? He's an undervalued type guy that you can include in a trade that teams might want. If, again, not saying that they should or they have to or anything like that, but my point is that they maintain flexibility, right? I'm not saying that the Lakers should even think about trading anybody, right? We don't know how this team's going to look. This team could be perfect, right? We could be running it back the next 3 years. But my point is that, like, it's nice that the Lakers got tradable contracts if they need to, kept and maintained future flexibility. Like, that's what you want from a front office and organizational standpoint. And the Lakers did themselves the thing, right? They did an amazing job. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What did you think of the roster? Because like I said, this is pretty much the roster. Lakers probably bring in another guy or two, whether it's like a Malik Beasley back or Mo Bamba or maybe both. But, yeah, this is essentially our roster. Love it, hate it, somewhere in between. Let me know down in the comments.